Hello once again and welcome to the program that everybody's talking about. This is Exciting Episcopalians. I think we've got the most exciting Episcopalian of them all, our junior warden, Bill Gordan. And Bill, we invited you and your wife Linda here today. Linda refused to come, so are you one of those married guys that can't get his wife to go out with him? I'm asking for a friend. Pam won't come with me either, so don't feel bad.
Okay.
Yeah. You're junior warden.
I am.
What does a junior warden do?
Fix everything.
Really? Is that how?
Attempt to fix everything.
But I thought you were also the warden of the people.
Of the people, that is, I guess, the official
Yeah.
designation of junior warden, but it seems to be more of the fix-it type of thing now. I mean, with the congregation, down from years ago when they probably came up with the idea of junior warden, there was probably more communication there. Don't get a lot of communication from the people to me, but usually goes right to Peter or to Jane or through those channels.
But you are an integral part of what we call the Monday guys.
Yes.
Tell me about the Monday guys.
Well, it's a group, actually started, Steve Brown started it when he was junior warden, and we kind of continued it. There's 4 or 5 of us to get together: Steve Brown, Doug Crosby, Bob Richards, Davis Hartwell, Brian
Lewis.
And in the summer, my grandson Xavier. So, one of the big projects was the Ogden room. We repainted that over, seems like 2 years, but it took about a summer. So, and anything that needs to be fixed, landscape-wise, Davis has really gotten a big jump on that since he retired. He's all over the grounds, and if Xavier's here and he's caught up with whatever, he'll help whoever. So, and then Monday, like today, we hung up the purple.
Yep.
We'll take down the purple and put up whatever colors next, and then the lighting. We enhance the lighting here on the stage.
You helped the lighting for our stream enormously. It's kind of lit for TV a little bit as well as we can without hanging some grids. It's terrific.
Yeah.
And I also think the experience of looking at a well-lighted altar.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a different. We've kind of flooded it, or you flooded it with white light. It looks great.
Yeah.
So,
So,
a big thing you guys have done is the front doors.
front doors. Yeah. Yeah, we got. That was kind of a long project. Went back and forth a few times, but it came out really well, and everybody is.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, like so.
And the interview hasn't been on the air yet, but we interviewed Bishop Brown last week, and he said that when he comes here, the things that he notices is that it's cleaner.
Yeah.
It's well kept. And he says sometimes he'll go to a place where they've got like bags in a foyer. I can't remember where he said they would be, waiting for the rummage sale in 6 months.
Yeah.
And this place is really looking great.
Yeah.
And it's the Monday guys.
It is. I mean, Brian and Steve have been painting the narthex entryway there, repainting that because it had been kind of weathered over the years. But those doors just add a tremendous amount of light to that entryway. And, was kind of wondering how everybody would accept the non-red doors that have been there forever. And, they fit the facade of the building well, and I've heard no negative.
Everybody loves them.
Yeah.
They let light in. It looks open. Even sometimes when it's winter, you can't really open the doors.
Right.
And, but that looks welcoming, so that's really great. Where'd you grow up?
Westbrook.
No kidding. Was your father a mill guy?
He was not. He was actually a school teacher.
What do you teach?
Drafting.
Oh, no kidding.
Mechanical engineer. He was a mechanical engineer or structural engineer by education. He used to work at a structural steel company, Bancroft Martin, in South Portland.
Oh, yeah.
Then he got into teaching.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And we were talking, the Monday guys were getting together today because we recorded this on Monday, and we were talking, we're all about the same age, we're talking about our draft numbers.
Right.
There's a part of life that I think a lot of young people don't know, but we got draft numbers.
Yeah.
What was yours, and what do you remember about that?
I think it was around 250 or something like that, and it was 72, and the war was kind of winding down, so you were still a little anxious about whether you're going to get picked or not. So,
Yep.
one of the things today that I don't know if you said something to someone today, they probably wouldn't even know.
Oh, no.
They'd shut the door, think it's drafty.
Yeah,
So-
but when I meet a guy our age, I'm always kind of interested what they did about the draft, because we all had to deal with that. My number was 17, and they defunded the draft in 1973, which is the year I would have actually been drafted.
Yeah.
And so on June 30th of that year, I was home scot-free. But when I got the number, we were thinking that the guys with the low 100 numbers, certainly the low 90 probably would be drafted. And so I thought I was gone in 72, but it worked out for
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah, see, I would have been a year later, so
Yeah.
like you say, they was no longer after that. So,
yeah, there was a draft, but they weren't calling.
Yeah.
We went to an all-volunteer army,
right.
and I didn't volunteer. I don't know about
I
you.
didn't,
I had a brother who was an Army colonel, said don't.
all right.
It wasn't then, he was a captain, but he said,
Yeah.
don't, so, okay. So then what did you do after you got out of high school?
I worked at a local mobile station, got done there, ended up getting into the tire business.
That's
Worked
right.
for Noise Tire Company. In 1985, Noise Tire was bought out by Goodyear, and I basically stayed with them till, I'm still working part-time for them, but I stayed with them for 35.
So while ownership changed, you worked the same place for how long?
Like 45.
See, that's another
48
thing.
years.
I worked essentially for the same company in 2 different towns and 5 different jobs, but I had one job from
Right.
when I was 18 till I was 66.
Yeah, same here.
That's unusual
Yeah,
these days.
Very
Yep,
much.
yep. So where'd you meet Linda? Tell me about that.
Actually, at Goodyear, she was office manager at Goodyear.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Office
okay.
romance. So-
Okay. Was that legal?
No, actually, I ended up having to fire her because they made me the manager, and they wouldn't. We couldn't work together.
And did you get to give her the word, or did we just phase somebody out
No, I
discreetly, or what?
I gave her the word, but it worked out better. So then, we didn't have to put up with each other all day and all night and
Yeah.
all the time. So.
And where did you marry?
Right here,
Really? Who performed that ceremony?
David Halroyd.
No
and
kidding.
Gordon Hutchins.
And Gordon. I love both those guys. Yeah.
We got married the week of 9/11. 9/11 was Tuesday,
Yeah.
and we got married that Saturday.
And not that anyone cares, but Elliot Weeks was born on Wednesday.
Ah,
Marcy went into labor. So,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's right. David was an interim rector here.
yes.
He was a fun guy. He was
Yeah.
a valedictorian at York High School, and he was went on to, I don't know where he went to school, but he was fun.
Yeah, he was a great guy. They did a great job. We each had, this is our second marriage, we each have 2 daughters, and our daughters stood up for us, and so it was great. Yeah.
Was there music? Did
Yes,
Stuart
there was
Schuster
Stuart
play?
Schuster did
Stuart
play.
Schuster, yeah.
And we went down to he had a place, I think it was near Camp Ellis down there.
Yeah, Orchard. What's that place in Old Orchard?
Orchard Park. is
He's
it,
in
or-
Orchard Park. He was in Orchard Park, I think.
Yeah. Had quite a musical setup down there. He had
Yeah.
quite a, an organ and more CDs and music than you can shake a stick at. But yeah,
CD. Now that's a certificate of deposit.
right.
Yeah. Okay. It's a compact disc, and after
Compact
albums
disc.
and before, I don't know what before, but
Right, yeah.
after 8-track tapes came CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, yeah, Stuart did it. Gordon and David performed the ceremony, and
Gordon was a lovely man.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and you had both of them. Do you know why? I mean,
Well, I think they were a package.
yeah.
Gordon always did, was with David.
Yeah. How nice.
And even at church services, you'd see him over to Mr. Bagel across the street between services.
Yeah.
'Cause they were really nice.
Were you attending here, or how did you end up at Trinity?
Linda actually started attending before I did. She's a lifelong Episcopalian.
Yeah. It's like me and Pam.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I was Unitarian growing up.
Yeah.
And then I came, when we got together, she used to go to St. Mary's in Falmouth when a lot younger, when her kids were growing up. But then we started coming here. Roger Dunn,
Sure.
Roger and Pat.
Yeah.
Well, Roger is Linda's brother-in-law. He was married to her sister that passed.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Maine is a big, small town.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we ended up coming here, and like I say, in 2001 we got married here, and I became a little more involved.
2001 you came here. So you've been here.
did. Yeah, Linda probably came a couple of years before
Okay.
me going to church. I didn't attend all that much. but-
The Greens were about 1995. So we were a little bit ahead of you, but
Yeah.
when you're chasing children around,
Yeah.
I didn't really get to know anybody for about 5 years. So you've been here 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Is there a big difference in our tradition than the Unitarian tradition you grew up with? And
Oh yeah, Unitarians are pretty laid back, not as formal of a religion. The service itself, the sermons always seemed when I was growing up, because I was a kid, they seemed like they were an hour
yeah,
long. I mean, the old minister that was at the Unitarian Church said if he says if a sermon is 10 to 15 minutes, it's too short. He says if it's 20 minutes or longer, he says it's too long. He says we have to hit that 20-minute mark.
interesting.
And
Yeah.
then people don't start to nod off. So
Yeah.
it just becomes a bore.
Yeah. Well, he was wrong. So how important is Trinity to your life? You guys are very involved here.
It's pretty important to us. I mean, we have kind of become really involved in stuff here, and it's hard to not kind of continue with it. You get the Monday morning group. It's almost an expectation that we're here. Sometimes I think Peter thinks we're incorporated. And should have W-2s, but.
Well, that'd be nice because you'd be getting some
Right,
pays,
we'd be
right?
getting money, but, Linda's very active in.
What does she do?
She's on the fellowship, and
Yep.
she's on the vestry.
Yep.
She does a lot with the flowers every week, and
She and Donna run the kitchen.
Dawn, yeah,
They're actually in charge of that, right? 'Cause
Right.
bossing us around.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she does the Alta Guild also.
Yep.
So she's going all the time with that, and she also volunteers at the food pantry up here at Woodford's.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
she's there three times a month, which is part of an outreach of the church here, and she does Laundry Love, which is really kind of taken off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot there, and there's the core group of people here that do a lot. You kind of have rallied around to get all the stuff done we need to get done, and when we look at these big projects we do, or big, the fairs and the yard sales and whatnot, you wonder if we're going to get them done, but we rally as a group and we seem to get them done.
Yeah. I think we're doing
Yeah.
very well. And
Yeah.
we've got some great new faces, and it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting what's going on
Yeah,
here.
yeah, and Peter has a lot of energy that he's brought,
Yeah.
with him on board here, and it's nice to see that, kind of everything is moving. It's like coming up this week with the jambalaya cook-off and
Jambalaya and jazz.
and pancakes and whatnot. So yeah.
Now, when this airs, you'll be 10 days into Lent. You giving up anything for Lent or anything, or is it just a time of quiet contemplation and prayer?
Sure.
Yeah, me too. I feel I have a lot in common with Bill because we're from Maine towns.
Yeah.
We're both named Bill. We're approximately the same age. Bill is younger by a year. And we had it going here. We had me as senior warden, Bill Gordan as junior warden, and Bill Spear as treasurer.
Right.
So when you got 3 bills, it's powerful, But, well, thank you for all you do at Trinity. You do wonderful things, and your efforts to do things like improve the foyer most recently, and I'm going to get it wrong, the Ogden room. I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it came out nice.
When I think of some of the times during my term as senior warden, everybody owns the church, and therefore they don't mind sharing their opinion with you about what color that wall should be.
This is true. This is true.
It's funny.
Yeah. But I mean, in doing this, I mean, Joan Delator is the one that got me into this mess of asking me if I wanted to be junior warden. So,
Yeah. Blame Joan. Okay.
and a real quick story about my connection with Joan. She used to work down the A&P Plaza down
Yeah.
on Forest Avenue.
Yeah.
My mother worked at the A&P Plaza.
Oh, jeez.
My mother was pregnant with me when Joan and her worked at the A&P.
No kidding. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's been good, and you were senior warden when I took that position. You kind of helped me understand that to some extent of figuring out what do I do?
Yeah, I was trying to offload work, so
It worked. I
yeah.
guess.
No,
But so it's been good. There's always a good group of people that are willing to help to get things done.
Yeah. Good. Well, thank you for all you do at Trinity, Bill. You're irreplaceable. You do a great job. And the bishop I got to interview the bishop last week, he's saying, what you are doing here, not me, it was a general you, but it looks so clean and nice, and I can tell. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I don't have anything to do with it, bishop. It's all Monday guys. So our guest has been Bill Gordan, who, like me, can't get his wife to go anywhere with him, but she's active. We all know Linda, and we're grateful to everything that the Gordons bring to Trinity Church. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your bulletin next week for a conversation with another exciting Episcopalian.